but I want to start, surprisingly, with the Miami Heat are going to be good offensively.
Hell yeah.
Norman Powell.
If they're good offensively, then I know they're going to be good because I know they're going to be good defensively. They're always good defensively.
When do we get to say, like, it's only 3 games. So, like, how much of a sample size do we need to say, okay, the Heat are going to play fast and they're going to be able to score?
No, but obviously they're going to play fast. Like, I don't know if any of that stuff works in the playoffs, but obviously they're going to be a fun team to watch offensively. I think we can state that after 3 games because they look totally different offensively. This is without Tyler Herro, and they've changed. It's not that the ball's going in. They're changing the way that they're doing things, and Norman Powell's really good.
They don't call any plays. Did you hear that after, like, I think it was after the second game where they won in Memphis, and they said, Spo didn't call any plays. They just run up and down the court.
Against Orlando, they played the fastest game I've ever seen them play. Then they scored $140 again at Memphis. They scored $140.
Yesterday, they continued with that pace, even with the Knicks, a really good defensive team slowing them down. And right now, they're running on average 22 on-ball picks per 100 possessions. The all-time record for the fewest in a season is 37.9. That's just showing the lack of plays right now where they are just getting the ball, pushing it up the court, whether it's Jaime Jaquez doing it with the bench unit, whether it's Davion Mitchell in the starting unit. They are pushing the ball, and it's leading to all sorts of open shots for Simone Fontecchio, amongst others.
You guys are overthinking this one, pal. Big screens. What do you thought? Terry Rozier's no longer here, and they're 2-0. We got him away. The franchise has been fumigated, and we're undefeated since he's gone.
The last time they beat the Knicks was when Terry Rozier had I believe, Heat-high 34 points in that game at the end of the 2024 season.
Under the jail.
Yes, let's say that, can we? When Bam Adebayo is saying, we all stand behind Terry, he's our brother, you got to say that, I guess, but he was dead wood, dead weight on the end of the bench. They were dying to get rid of this guy. So the FBI got rid of him for them.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. You're right. They have to say that, I guess. Like, we support him. He's our brother. But here's the thing. My first thought when I heard Bam say that, and granted, it doesn't appear to be that he was doing anything with rigging games while he was with the Heat. It appears to be something that happened with the Hornets. But do you have to support him? And the reason that I say that is because if he's rigging games, why would you support him? Like, it's the worst thing you could do if you're a teammate. That kind of bothered me when they said, and you know what? The same thing with the Blazers, too, is, we support him, we love him. Well, hold on a second. If he's rigging games for you to lose, why would you support this person?
Yeah. Well, Chauncey Billups wasn't rigging games or basketball games. It's alleged that he was rigging poker games.
Well, and he was passing along information as far as who they're going to play, not play because they're tanking games.
Co-conspirator number 8 did. Yeah. We don't know if that was Chauncey Billups, although who the hell was it if it wasn't Chauncey Billups?
No, it was. But in Rozier's case, why would you support someone who is actively trying to hurt the thing that you're making a living
Why
off
does
of?
Cody say you have to say that? You don't have to actually say that.
I think it's what you say if you're a teammate whose teammate has not been found guilty yet. I mean, the evidence is incriminating. Okay, I'm not going to say Terry Rozier is guilty, put him in jail, but the evidence is incriminating. 30 unders on prop bets, 30, and all 30 of them hit in a game where he was not on the injury list and then leaves with a mysterious ailment 9 minutes in. That's incriminating.
Did he have was the bail $6 million for Terry Rozier? That seemed impossibly high for what it is that we were talking about.
Too low.
$6 million as a bail. I don't know if you can look up for me other comps on that, because when I heard that, I'm like, can that be right?
It was a $10 million bond. He had to put up his $6 million home in Florida as a result. That's part of why, obviously, these guys are supporting him, because forget the fact that it was just he's accused of one game of this, right? So if you're the guys and you haven't been a part of that where you're accused of him throwing any of your games, you can look at your brother who you've played with and
that's
say,
why
I support
said,
this
granted,
guy.
it doesn't seem to be with the Heat.
Right, and then on top of that, you're looking at a guy who was brought in shackles and taken from the flight. It's a really different experience than someone who was at
that
least
how it
allowed
went
to
down?
turn himself in.
Was he taken off the plane?
not off the plane, I don't believe.
No,
but
it was in Orlando, but look, there are some politics involved here. Congress summoning Adam Silver over this. There are politics involved in what it is that's happening. Adam Silver now has to go and explain some things to Congress, and there are some optics involved. There's next to nothing. I will say this again. Once you're weaponizing federal institutions for political gain, as is happening all over the place now, and you can get some black millionaires in shackles, you're going to do that. But one of the things that is interesting to me here, we glanced over this last week, how little power the NBA investigators actually have. Did you guys see this Eastern Michigan story? And I don't expect you to have seen it, and it's a little difficult for me to read my notes with these Bad Bunny glasses. So
Greg, you up on Eastern Michigan?
You'll
all
forgive
the
me
time, yeah.
for a second as I find this story,
I
because
know one player on the roster.
there was something funny in the Eastern Michigan stories in that there are some accusations, because this is easier to do in college, and it's really dangerous in college because obviously in college you can have players who need money. Terry Rozier ostensibly wouldn't need money when he's got a $26 million contract. So if you're going to buy a player for things of these purposes and have him risk the $26 million federal jail time and everything else, it's harder to get to pro players. But the NCAA went and tried to interview the Eastern Michigan players and people near them, and they were all like, yeah, not going to talk to you. Don't need to talk to you. You don't have any real power. We're going to threaten you by taking away your eligibility. Well, they don't have any eligibility left. So there's literally nothing the NCAA can do. It's just interesting to see that there's also nothing the NBA can do, because if you're going around Terry Rozier's family and friends, they're not going to talk to you. They've got to talk to the FBI. They might not talk to the FBI either. But when federal power is being the thing that you're hit over the head with, or just NBA investigator X, the NBA investigation is going to be incomplete because nobody needs to cooperate with that.
Yeah, but the thing that I'm mad about, I think Heat fans are as well. How could the NBA not disclose any of this to the other team, specifically a team that then trades for this player and gives up a first-round pick? I don't even – do the Hornets have a responsibility to have told the Heat? I don't know. I can go either way on that one. But the NBA doesn't let another team know that we're investigating. We hit a roadblock, so it's kind of open. We can't do anything about it. But this player may be investigated by the FBI, and the Heat wind up having to give up a first-round pick. Now, granted, they gave up Kyle Lowry. I mean, that's a good day no matter what. But they still gave up a first-round pick.
But Zaz, here's the thing. So the NBA is going to tell the Heat, hey, by the way, there's a little bit of an issue. We had a red flag come up with one of the gambling partners that says that Terry Rozier may have been allegedly fixing this game.
That's right.
And so you're going to just uncover an entire massive investigation to the Heat, to another team, when you have it siloed with the Hornets.
Knew?
I know, but you have it siloed there. And now all of a sudden you're going to let another team know, and then that team's going to tell another team, and then blah, blah, blah.
But they didn't actually clear this player. Like there's an open, essentially.
They took him out of the season. He was done with a fake injury.
That's debatable.
That's what Windhorst says, that the information on this is somewhat cloudy because Shams reported the NBA cleared him and the NBA had not cleared him. And so there are some things here that are still a little bit murky. But can we talk about the product on the court for a second?
Oh, it's a good product.
Is Tyler Herro going to foul this up? Because you're doing the Terry Rozier thing. Is Tyler Herro going to make this better? It's going to be something worth watching because it's inescapable how good they look without Tyler Herro offensively, and he is going to come back, and there's been some questions for the entire time that he's been here about how good he can be at the end of games. He can get his own shot at the end of games. I still think the Heat are going to have trouble at the end of close games playing this way.
That's what it is, though. Like that right there is where Tyler Herro's going to help. We saw it at the end of the game in Orlando where they really couldn't score the last few minutes. And we saw it for a small stretch last night as well. So having an extra guy who could create and make junk shots when the defense is tight up, that's where he's going to help.
What a wonderful problem for the best coach in the NBA to have is to integrate his all-star player into what's already good.
But he's ball dominant, and they need Davion Mitchell's defense in the starting lineup.
The other thing, too, is this offense has worked because there's been no ball stopper, right? In years past, you had Jimmy, who's a ball stopper. You have different players who, Tyler Herro, also Jimmy and Tyler trying to share one ball. And you're looking at it and saying, all right, can Tyler Herro come in and actually buy into what the offense is that they want to run? Or is he going to be like, nope, I'm back as my all-star self. Give me the ball. I'm going to shoot 22
Well, but
times
that's
a game.
why he can contribute, because offensively, like when they were playing with pace last year at the very beginning of the season, he was a huge contributor to that. It was only when Jimmy started taking the ball and dominating it the way that he did, and they needed to build the offense around that. Jaime Jaquez Jr., another perfect example.
Oh,
everybody,
he's my dog
well,
again.
everybody looked at him as like another version of Jimmy Butler that was going to operate from the high post and was going to just use different post moves. No, he's better in this free-flowing offense. Tyler Herro will be the same way, but they had to build an offense around Jimmy Butler before. Tyler seems like someone who, if willing to just be a piece of it and get his the way Norman Powell has, he'll be a greater piece of this offense.
Stop being a homer, bro.
Jaime Jaquez had some trouble last year, faded over the stretch, kind of vanished, didn't do much in the way of improving. I still have, unfortunately, the text string that Jeremy started with an assortment of people that says Jaime Jaquez is the next Jimmy Butler.
That was the name of the group chat until I changed it to Khalil Ware is the next Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But Jaime Jaquez has been very good. This is an interesting question for later. It's not the question for now, 3 games in. But once Tyler Herro is in the Harlow songs, Jack Harlow songs, and he is the all-star, can he even go back to being sixth-man guy? Can he even go back to being the role that he was so good at when he was good enough to be sixth man of the year? Is that something, once you've been an all-star, do you come back, you miss 3 games, and you're like, you guys miss me? And they're like, no, not so much.
Like, I'm the man, right? And they're like, eh.
His time is coming. It's a Grim Reaper meme. We left the Terry Rozier door behind us. Tyler's next.